But for LIU, looking to run their win streak to 7. This is arguably their softest stretch of the schedule here in 2018. The win over Central Connecticut State last Friday, a team that has yet to win a game all year. Meanwhile, tonight, going up against a Sacred Heart team they've beaten the last 4 years and a team that only won 3 total games last year. A chance, though, to tie it here and a kick save from Illen. Tremendous reflex save from the freshman. Came after a rash sliding challenge. Play still going. There was a Sacred Heart player that was down. He got to his feet. And now LIU with numbers pouring forward. Hansen looking for it. He'll get it. See if he can keep it in. And no, he won't be able to. Oh boy, was that the best opportunity Sacred Heart has had tonight. Seemingly coming from nothing. After a ball sent through, a sliding challenge. Head referee Brian Dunn doing a good job of letting play go on there. And then a terrific one-on-one save from Sam Illen to keep the shutout alive. Well, just as we were saying, it's been the softest stretch of LIU's schedule. They've certainly had to sweat both last Friday and tonight. Mentioned Central Connecticut State, a team that hasn't won a game yet. Sacred Heart, team that went winless in the NEC slate last year. That one finds the net! And Xander Hilitoff from midfield scores one of the goals of the year. Stuns LIU, and Hilitoff scores his second goal of the year, and out of nowhere, we're tied at 1 here in the 72nd minute. You might see that one on SportsCenter tonight. Xander Hilitoff got it, kept himself calm, saw that Illen was off his line. I don't think he ever expected in a million years to be able to perfectly put his laces through that one and drill one from 50 yards home. But he perfectly lofts it over Sam Illen. And Sacred Heart, who has been outpossessed this entire game by a very talented LIU team, they have an equalizer out of nothing. As Xander Hilitoff scores probably the best goal he'll ever score in his career. Now looking for more. Cross into the box. Shot comes on! And Sacred Heart's got another! And it's Hilitoff again! In the span of 60 seconds, the Pioneers have gone from 1-0 down to 2-1 up. 2 goals that come out of nowhere, and it's Xander Hilitoff, the sophomore, that has thumped both of them home. Absolutely incredible work from Sacred Heart. 2 stunning goals that have silenced this Brooklyn crowd. I think we got another look at the goal coming up. You see somebody goes down in the box, but it falls perfectly for Hilitoff, who was in the right place at the right time and just puts his laces through that one to beat Illen. And this LIU defense that has been punched in the jaw twice in the matter of a minute. And now possibly a third! Illen with another save. Well, where has this come from Sacred Heart? Well, it's a team that has believed in themselves all night and carrying their best form into this game. First conference win of the year against Mount St. Mary's last weekend. And then the belief to nearly knock off 12th-ranked UConn. They led 1-0 in that one over an hour through. And here tonight, after trailing 1-0 for the last 30 minutes plus, Sacred Heart bury 2 in the back of the net in the span of a minute. 49 seconds to be exact. It was probably the goal of the year for this team, and Hilitoff drilling one from 50 yards, and then again on a ball that fell to him, made no mistake about it. And now another diving save from Illen. There's been a wave of momentum for Sacred Heart here in these last 4 minutes. They have not only silenced this LIU crowd, but their bench now, their supporters that have come here from Connecticut, raucous. For the first 70 minutes of this one, it was all LIU. Here on the last 4 minutes, it's been all Sacred Heart. An ounce of this game has completely turned it on its head. This LIU defense has really not responded well from that first goal. They've been opened up since, and frankly, I don't think they really know what hit them. But they find themselves now with their backs against the wall with just a quarter of an hour remaining. And a team that they haven't lost to in the last 4 years, they're going to have to come from behind now. Here's Johansson. Trying to play that one through the middle, and now LIU really pushing up. Achterkamp tries to clear it, took a deflection. Another deflection. Sacred Heart player all alone. Illen way off his line, but the offside flag goes up. And I think Joe Barroso, right on the sideline, making the argument that that came off an LIU player perhaps, or that the deflection should not have resulted in the offside flag going up, but nonetheless, play goes on here. Blackbirds now ratcheting up the pressure. Koss's cross is blocked. Ball played over the top. Santilli. Karate kicks that one as far as he can. But didn't even get done talking about this stretch of the schedule for LIU in which they play Central Connecticut State, Sacred Heart tonight, Mount St. Mary's on Sunday. 3 opponents that have combined for just 3 wins this year. And we talked about how it was a grind for LIU last Friday. It was a grind tonight. It was a 1-0 lead that was a grind. And how their softest stretch of the schedule on paper has been anything but. And now that statement even more true as they're going to have to come from behind. Just over a dozen minutes remaining as Johansson gives a push to Segundo Navarro, and he might be put into the book of Brian Dunn here for that. And it is going to be a yellow to Eric Johansson now, perhaps letting the recent events build up in the frustration. That's just the first card of the year given to Johansson. A sophomore that, since coming here from Ängelholm, Sweden last year, has played and started all 30 games. Now 31 in his career. And we just heard in front of us, rarely do we get to see the tactical changes, or rarely do we get told the tactical changes. Instead, we've got to try to pinpoint them with our very eyes, but they're just in front of us. We heard Giuseppe Barone asking goalkeeping coach Bradley Johnson if they're switching to 3 at the back, and he nodded. And now we can see that formation very evident. As LIU pushing forward now in search of the equalizer after 2 goals in the span of 49 seconds. So the three defenders at the back are Johansson, Achterkamp, and Koss. Nordstrom has pushed up into a midfield position, and you got to imagine this formation that was 4-4-2 is maybe now a 3-5-2 or a 3-4-3. Change coming now to reflect this recent formation change, as Hybe Achterkamp will now move up from the back line, as we'll see Zach Peterson for the first time since the 3-0 win against Ryder. Zach Peterson, the junior, now appearing in just his 6th game this year. We talked about him in the first half, somebody that more or less lost his spot at the back line after a string of shaky performances from this LIU defense. But with LIU desperately needing a goal now in the final 11 minutes, Peterson has come in, Achterkamp slides up. Long cross towards the back post, that's going to beat everybody for a goal kick. Can't even begin to talk about how frustrating of a loss this will be for LIU if they can't come back. But still, decent amount of time left, 10.5 minutes, and for a team that's got the best offense in the conference, at times that has proved to be plenty. Let's not forget, they were goalless with Ryder leading into the 71st minute here in Brooklyn just a couple of weeks ago. They ended up pouring in 3 in the span of 15 minutes. Right now, they just need 1. Shot comes on, and they've got the 1! It's Matheson again! Frederick Matheson with a curling dagger to tie it at 2. And now, with 10 minutes left, it is game on here in Brooklyn. Again, it's Matheson with the dazzling piece of individual brilliance. Found the ball lying at his feet and calmly dispatched a curling beauty past Rob Strain. And now here in the 80th minute, it's LIU 2, Sacred Heart 2. For Frederick Matheson, the sophomore from Oslo, Norway. That's his 4th goal of the year. He's now got 12 points. And it comes on just his 6th shot on goal of the season. And if we thought this game was going to be wide open at 1-1, it is going to be wide open here at 2-2 in the 81st minute. One of the most exciting games we've seen all year. And perhaps we haven't even seen the best just yet. Here's Segundo Navarro now. Again, causing problems in the midfield for LIU. Gets it out wide. Back in the middle now with the captain, Kuras. Good challenge from Johansson. And now here's Achterkamp going all the way through the midfield, but a nice combination of sliding challenges forces the freshman to the ground. And Achterkamp not quickly getting back to his feet, and Brian Dunn is going to call to a halt right now the play. Achterkamp maybe just picking up a slight cramp after he outstretched that left leg, trying to avoid a pair of sliding challenges in the midfield from Sacred Heart. But again, let's not forget, in the first half, when LIU had just broken through, we said on paper this was a game that we thought could maybe produce 3-4 goals or even more. And you've got the #1 offense in the conference going up, a team that is 3rd in the conference in goals in Sacred Heart. 2 teams that have some very dangerous pieces on paper. And now, in the last 10 minutes, we've seen an explosion, 3 goals. And we've got our 4. Will we have a 5th? Only time will tell. So Achterkamp coming off, I don't think it's going to be for long. Maybe just picking up a slight cramp as Xavi Verdu comes in to replace him here. But you got to go back quite a bit of ways to find the last time Sacred Heart scored more than a goal against LIU. That LIU Brooklyn crowd was electrified by the Matheson goal as they're trying to will the Blackbirds to victory. Foul there right on the touchline will give possession back to the Pioneers. Again, recent history, LIU has dominated it between these two. Both of these teams looking for their 10th win over one another in the history of this 20-plus year rivalry. LIU has won the last 4, and again, that 6-game winning streak also on the line tonight. Here's Acosta Jr. Nice outside-footed pass, and now Verdu was almost on the back of Navarro. They're still battling for it in the midfield. Now it's with Kuros. Brian Dunn electing to let play go on there. 83rd minute. It was Marius Koss who got us going in the 34th. 2 goals in the span of 49 seconds for Sacred Heart out of nowhere, both from Xander Hilletoft. But then Matheson with the equalizer. Search for a winner goes on. Here's Barone. Giuseppe Barone. Ball played to the backside. It falls. Can Matheson do it again? It was blocked, and it's going to be an LIU corner. Well, every time now that the ball is at Matheson's feet, with the way that he has put in excellent performance after excellent performance, and some of the goals he's scored this year, you can feel the magic in the air. Peterson comes off after a nice stint. Achterkamp comes back on. Ball sent towards the middle, not getting past that initial bank of Sacred Heart defenders. Again, got to go back to September 7th. And LIU was on the West Coast. Their last loss came against San Diego State. Matheson gets tripped up by a pair of Sacred Heart defenders. It's going to be a free kick right on the edge of the 18-yard box now for LIU. Matheson not happy with that challenge from Xander Hilletoft. LIU looking for the quick restart. It does not pan out as they would like. Now there can't be too much frustration there because that looked almost identical to how LIU scored their overtime winner just back on September 30th against St. Francis. Verdu came charging forward for the volley there. Turnover in midfield.